It went on the first try.
Yeah,
It's because
weird.
you eat the cookies.
I did nothing different than any other. Well, I'm drunker than usual. I'm
Oh, well, there you
angrier
go.
than usual.
Well, there you
But
go.
those things don't usually affect technology.
Or maybe they do now.
No, that attitude.
Hello to all you patriots out there in podcast land, and welcome to episode 404 of Canadian Patriot Podcast, the number one live podcast in Canada. We're recording on September 18th, 2023.
That and we need your help so that we don't return a 404 error. To support Canadian Patriot Podcast, visit patreon.com/CPP and become a Patreon. You can get a better quality version of the show for just $1 an episode. Show you're not a communist. Buy a CPP t-shirt for just $24.99 plus shipping and government theft. Visit CanadianPatriotPodcast.com, our homepage, and follow the link on the right.
This takes us to my favorite segment. It's called What Are We Drinking? It's where I ask my co-conspirators what they're drinking. Also, things you've recently done on the Patriot Challenge. We will start with Pierre. Pierre, what are you drinking?
As per usual, whiskey and some Pepsi tonight, and water as well. Patriot Challenge. I can kind of say I'm officially an adult. We finalized everything for the house because the last house fell through. Finalized everything on the Friday, so now we're really dragging our feet because packing everything sucks a lot.
Packing is rough.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of nice. Like we get to go through some stuff. Like we've had some bins around that I'm like, oh, we'll keep that for the house. So I'm like, you can go through it, kind of do the purge early because nobody wants to move stuff just to throw it out. So we're hoping to
3-4 houses. I still got the same box that I moved the first time, and it's followed me along.
yeah, I'm hoping to avoid.
Why
that.
unpack it when you're just going to pack it again?
Right?
Yeah.
I got one of those
Yeah.
boxes.
Yeah, so we're trying to avoid that, but we'll see. I mean, so that per usual, trying to get it into some reading. Haven't done that lately, but hoping to get to it. Mostly because we packed most of the books away. But yeah, drinking the waters, trying to not be a douche entirely. But what about you, Ian?
Well, Noble Goals trying not to be a douche. I wish I could take that one up. I'm seeming to have troubles with that myself. Let's see here. I'm drinking coffee and Baileys tonight. And as far as skills go, well, water is always an ongoing thing. I'm happy to be back on the island water again. Home construction skills. Yeah. Besides the exercise every morning with the dogs, I've been trying to finish up some roofing jobs that I had to do, and small engine repair, maintenance, all that stuff, getting ready for winter. And so just kind of practicing little, I guess, maintenance skills. And what about you, Andrew?
We're breaking
We
the
normally do
convention.
this in, but that's
Yeah,
Oh, did I
fine.
say Gavin? Oh yeah, sorry. Andrew's the host
No,
tonight.
no.
Sorry.
I'm the host every night, but that's fine. I am drinking James Ready 5.5, made by Moosehead Breweries and Union Labor.
Yeah,
I don't know
union
why they
labor.
feel the need to say that on the can, but they do. But hey, also cheap beer, and I'm
It was
Well, I think
probably
that's
in the
'cause-
contract.
Yeah, union people are kind of like CrossFitters and yogas and vegans.
Yeah.
You know who they are because they tell you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Are you a vegan if you don't tell everyone you are a vegan?
I suppose not. No,
It's never been tried.
Well,
And to be fair, Gavin was the host when I showed up.
that's true.
I mean,
Yes.
Temporarily. It's
I,
placeholder.
s- I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose. But what was I
Patriot
getting on
Challenge.
about? Patriot Challenge. I've been cycling. I've received many little awards in the Garmin app for my cycling prowess.
That I gotta get a bike. That is one of like the best, easiest impact on your joints exercise.
Dude, my
workout.
knees don't hurt. It's amazing.
Yeah, like they are crazy good for low impact. Like Mel's got a knee problem with the surgeries and everything, and they said get in the pool or get a bike because they're so low impact, but they're so good for your cardiovascular and everything that I'm like, man, I gotta get a bike. I've been so lazy doing the rucking, like all the things where I'm like, I think that would be easier.
I had a little
Nice.
break there. I mean, obviously, we've had a short hiatus on the show, but
Yeah.
I took the boy camping recently. So
Nice.
we did a daddy son camping excursion for a week, which was a good time. And I was getting my steps in, but not much else because it's remarkably difficult to exercise with any amount of intensity or effort with a 5-year-old because he gets distracted after a set of anything. And we're
Yeah.
definitely not like riding bikes at the same pace. He has a little single
Trike?
speed with training wheels,
Yeah.
but like I can walk faster than that. So yeah, not
Yeah.
really,
I mean-
not doing that.
To be
Sounds like
fair,
the-
chasing after him is kind of a workout.
It is, but it's not like
Yeah.
the dedicated like
Yeah.
workout.
Yeah.
But you
So
can always
I
get him
was-
his own entrenching tool and get him to start digging in fighting positions and stuff. And
Well, I actually have one of
That's
those
true.
sitting right next to me.
Fighting
He's welcome to
position?
borrow anytime. Well, yes, I do have several fighting positions next to me, but an entrenching tool. He can borrow it. I'll bring it to the trailer next time. He can
Perfect.
dig all the holes.
Excellent. We had a good time at the trailer with camping.
that's
It was good, and yeah, back on the bicycling nonsense. And sometime this week, I need to do my half marathon for the army run, and I'll
Yeah.
probably die, but
Yeah,
It's
I
fine.
got to do that too. And my 5 and 10, but I'll be fine. I'll probably do the 5 tomorrow.
right on. Gavin, what are
Like
you
it-
drinking?
I am drinking the Canadian Club and Diet Pepsi this evening. So keeping it real. Patriot Challenge stuff. Got to get back on the fitness train, but I will be doing that because I also signed up for the Army Run. But I did go and do some little, home reno-y type stuff, finishing up some of the touches in the basement here. So got out the power tools and had to cut a table to size to make it fit and put it all into place. So did all of that. And then on Sunday, I was up at the base shooting pistols with the RCMI for the Falling Plate Challenge. And you are looking at the 2023 champion of the RCMI Steel Falling Plate Challenge.
nice.
So is that like the same deal as at a
Congrats.
restaurant and everybody yells OPA or?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And I yelled the loudest. So I won. No, head to head, single elimination, 5 falling steel plates, and then a balloon to finish. And fastest one takes it.
And how do you finish
Nice.
a balloon?
You shoot it.
Oh, all right then.
Nice.
So
Okay.
did that, and then the winners of that go on into the next round, and then the next round until the next round. And then I was the last one there that won. So
Well,
Nice.
congratulations.
yes, because I'm a winner.
And being that you're significantly younger than most of the members of the RCMI, I expect you to be the last reigning pistol champion.
Yes. Although we do have there is a kids table at the gala dinner. So
Nice.
there's just
That
enough
were-
of us to fill one table.
I was just gonna ask him. Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, nice. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
that's
very
my stuff.
Oh, I should mention, shout out to Bullseye London. I won a $250 Bullseye prize at the ORA Precision Rifle Provincial Championship a week ago.
Nice.
So Bullseye was a sponsor, and the Chew Brothers, which is I think Spearhead Machine.
Yes. That would be the one. Yeah. They make some nice brakes and barrel tuners.
And I'm not sure if there was anybody else. I don't think IBI was a sponsor this year. I think they were a sponsor of previous years, and I'm not sure if there was anybody else. But I know Spearhead gave everybody a discount card, and I know that there was prizes from Bullseye London, or I guess they're Bullseye North now, but in London. So
Yeah.
anyway, I need to go shopping and buy $250 worth of ammo,
Nice.
Nice.
So like one box.
like one box.
Yeah.
Or 100
Yeah.
primers,
Yeah.
I'm okay for small pistol primers, which what seems to be in stock again now. If we could get some federal gold medal match large rifle primers, though, that would be stellar.
If we can get small ones too, because I found out mine take the small one.
6.5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
small
my
rifle
federal-
primer for you.
Yeah, well, you can get both, but then I thought mine were large just because the federal, if you bought the clean brass from Federal. It was large, but their box stuff was small.
Oh,
And I
neat.
didn't notice.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until the last competition when we were chit chatting and we started looking at primers, and I was like, well, those tend to be, if they show up in stock, they're still ridiculously
I'm
priced,
saying.
but they tend to last a little bit longer.
No low balls. I know what I've got.
But yeah, so yeah, that's going to be hopefully when stuff becomes more available. But if in case Andrew did forget to mention you, we'd love to get the feedback from you.
Oh. See, this is what
visit
happens. We're all out of order.
Yeah.
Sorry.
CanadianPatriotPodcast.com/feedback or email us feedback@CanadianPatriotPodcast.com. Version of the show is available on Stitcher and iTunes, and then links are in the show notes because I'm not spelling all that.
Actually, you know what? I think
Stitcher's gone
Not-
now, is it?
not that anybody cares, but I'm pretty sure Stitcher's dead, so we should just take that off the thing.
Yeah. Just everyone, if you could just put an F in the chat for Stitcher, that'd be great. Gotta pay those respects. Yeah.
And I guess we're like technically on Google Podcasts, but I don't know how it got there, and I don't know how to control it because
I didn't know
it's
Google
just-
had its own podcast.
grabbing the iTunes feed somehow through the magic of the internet, it just working.
Yeah. Yeah. We're that
That
big
means,
that
like-
we don't even have to worry about it. People just want to hear us, so platforms grab us.
Yeah, and
Watch out, Joe Rogan.
You don't
And I
want
mean-
Joe Rogan to grab your platform.
No.
Yeah. But I mean,
DMT.
Ayahuasca, man. That's the way it goes.
Have you done mushrooms?
no.
While eating elk and jujitsu.
Wow, man, that's crazy. See, I basically can do all the catchphrases for Joe Rogan. That's
Yeah. Wow. If
Yeah.
if you do one of them, it's gonna get you canceled, but
yeah.
not kicked off of Spotify. So can't use
Wow.
Spotify. We'd like some money.
I've drunk a lot and I haven't read the show notes. So what are we doing tonight?
So I guess there's a bunch of different headings, but like the main sort of story arc here, if you will, is our fearless leader's trip to India.
Yes.
That starts with him going over there and being
Shitting the bed.
scolded by their prime minister.
Yeah.
So I guess at some point recently in Canadian history, there was a parade with a float that apparently glorified the 1984 assassination of Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi.
Yep.
Which I guess was carried out by Sikh separatists, the ones that Jagmeet Singh is a fan of, and is
Calistanis.
yeah, and because of his adoration of these people, is not allowed in India. But anyway, so this parade thing happened with this float that they're saying glorified this, and the
Trudeau's
current
back.
Indian Prime Minister Modi was on record saying that they are protesting secessionism and inciting violence against Indian diplomats, damaging diplomatic premises, and threatening the Indian community in Canada and their place of worship or places of worship. So he is not exactly pleased that Canada and specifically its Sikh population and its separatist Sikh population are so intertwined, if you will. So he did not have nice things to say about this, and then at the end of the whole thing, Trudeau said his boilerplate thing of how, we will support people that want to protest anywhere about anything as long as they're not violent, and how like one person doesn't represent the whole, which I find is kind of ironic, seeing as he doesn't allow protesting in his own country, and how when one person does something stupid, as long as it's on the other side of the thing that he, agrees with. So like when you have one guy holding a Nazi flag that's obviously a plant at a freedom convoy protest, that somehow does sully the whole group of people.
Yeah.
But not when it's, one violent separatist Sikh, he doesn't sully the entire Sikh community. So like that's how that works apparently.
Just like you're free to protest as long as you're not a trucker, I suppose.
Yeah, or like you're free to protest as long as you protest the things that I also protest.
Hmm.
That's kind of how that sounds.
Well, it goes a little deeper than that too. So with the Indian thing, there's no Khalistani Liberation Front presence in India per se. It's all over here. So,
Yes. And
um,
interestingly enough, one of the things they also talk about in all this, so aside from China, who, as we know, has a huge impact on our elections and how we live our life and all of these things, and there's a lot of talk of interference, but not a whole lot of action. The second highest country that has a lot of political interference is India, specifically
Huh?
this population.
yeah. And of course, it's almost like Justin's in a coalition with these type of people or something, you
It's,
know.
yes.
Are we allowed to say these kind of peoples?
Well,
Yes.
I didn't say you people, that's different.
Yeah, you people is totally different.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yes,
Um,
he is in cahoots, it seems, with the Chinese that like to come here and interfere with our elections because nothing is being done about this. He also is definitely in cahoots with these people because, I mean, he's got a coalition government with someone that supports them quite literally. And then,
And
you know,
not only
all the
that, it's
other-
like Jagmeet's not even allowed in India because he's part of this group. He's like
Yeah.
literally not allowed to enter the country. So
We should
Yeah.
have sent him and see what happens.
that would have been awesome.
yeah, that would have been really good. But yeah,
oh no,
so
our head of state would be ignored by another head of state. That's completely unheard of. Oh wait.
that's
I think-
more or less
Technically, he's
exactly
not
what
the head of
happened.
state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but
I
I mean, jug
I-
Ed.
gobbler meat things.
Yeah.
He's not the head of state, but I mean,
No, I'm just
He's
going
a
to
head
of
sent him
state.
as the fulfilling the role of the prime minister, doing
delegate.
the foreign
Yeah.
dignitary thing.
He'd probably
Yeah.
get arrested pretty fast.
I mean, is
Are
that
we
an option?
talking head
How
of
much is
state
plane
or
ticket?
something
Because
else?
like
Yeah. I'm
Go
willing
fund
to
me?
go halfsies on it. Yeah.
I'll crowdfund that.
Yeah. Yeah.
for just $1 per episode,
Yeah.
we can seg.
You
But
too can
Jagmeet-
send a Khalistani terrorist back to India. Somebody get some Sarah McLaughlin sound out. I need a. I need a
In the
tiny
arms of an
violin.
angel. Yeah.
Need a tiny.
Starts playing in the background while Jagmeet's
I
walking around with his
trying
hand
really
out
hard to
looking
work
for money.
something in with Howdy Modi, but I got nothing about that. So you'll just have
Yeah.
to take it as a standalone. Like,
Well,
yeah,
this
it was,
is also
it was
this is
good
also the
hearing
same-
him get blasted though, right? Like,
yeah, because these is also the same group of people that were responsible for the Lockerbie, Scotland bombing, and also the old Canadian Airlines airplane that blew up over in Tokyo and killed a couple ground handlers there. It's like it's not exactly a great group of people, right? So
yeah. Yeah. Not that we're saying bad things about Sikhs in general, just to be specific, just the violent separatist ones.
Yeah.
The separatist ones are fine. It's the violent separatist ones that we're talking about specifically.
Yeah.
Those people. Not you people, those people. It's
Yeah.
difference.
we can
Yeah,
talk
and
more specific.
more exciting things that happened while he was over there. Interestingly enough, he had some mechanical issues with his plane that prevented him from leaving this disaster of a trip.
Yeah,
So there's some speculation here as to what this technical issue actually was and how everything was handled. But one thing they're saying here is that the reason that his plane was a piece of shit and broke is because it's one of the ones that's slated to be replaced from the much delayed plane contracts over the years, which apparently we finally have actually taken possession of the new like mega planes,
Yes.
the Globetrotters or whatever they're calling them.
no, it's actually Airbus 330s they're doing for
Well-
refueling and transport, but they just
Yeah.
the only ones they've received so far are the refuelers, which doesn't do him a whole lot of good.
yeah. So like we have the planes.
is there a
from
way
the
that we could get him to
contractor.
sit between the large gas cans?
Yeah. Or can he physically be the guy at the end of that nozzle as it flies through the air and he hooks it up to the other plane?
yeah.
I know we don't need to do that, but I would really like to see that and what happens.
I
for
would not be
science.
opposed to paying some of my taxes to
Yeah.
see this.
But yeah, so he's still flying around in like a 4-decade-old plane, so it's a piece of shit and it's breaking down. the reason it's breaking down and hasn't been replaced is because we've delayed the contract. Yeah, we finally got possession of the planes, but why would we buy anything that we actually need? And the ones that we did get are either like not good, or they still need to be like upgraded to do all of the things that we want them to do. Because I don't know why we wouldn't just buy them that way. But yeah.
Well, because we're
That
buying them
probably
used
makes-
for one.
Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, that
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
makes
We're
there
not
you
buying
go.
new, so
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Why
So
are
we're
we
gonna
not buying? I'm
Why-
not super.
why didn't we
up to
buy
date
new
on my-
submarines? Why didn't we buy new everything? You know, why didn't we buy new F-18s? Like,
Okay, but
yeah.
So they don't make those submarines anymore, and I'm pretty sure they don't make those F-18s anymore. But doesn't Airbus still make the 330?
the new generation is way more expensive.
Yes, but if we bought the
So we're opposed to spending tax dollars on that, but we'll
Yeah,
fucking throw
well,
tax
yeah.
dollars at
Giant
everything
rubber
else.
ducks, yes. Giant 330s, no.
Well, we're not
What's
willing to
the
spend
new
that
gen
much money.
of
Yeah.
the 330. I thought
You were gonna ask what's the new gen of the rubber duck.
It's literally called the 330 Neo, not to be confused with other Neo types. I'm just
right.
saying.
They've got different engines now. Yes. Okay. I
Yes.
remember reading about that.
And
yes.
well, different engines, different
Yeah.
avionics, different.
Also,
And,
when you turn it on, it goes, I know Kung Fu now.
It's like,
I'd
whoa.
watch that movie. I'd watch that movie.
That was a good movie.
But anyways, yeah. So the problems with the 330 Neos is that it's like a substantially larger cost, and everybody's trying to get rid of the old 330s. So deal, like, you know, used car deals,
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, I'm assuming we bought the ones that we have now new.
No,
So I was just going to ask, why don't we just buy some previously enjoyed 150 Polarises? Like
no.
that's
So the Airbus 310, which is the civilian name of the Polaris, was bought off Ward Air from back in the day.
Wow.
So Ward
Yeah.
Air, Ward Air flew the crap out of them, and then when Ward Air disappeared according to Canadian Airlines because of a shady stock deal, those planes were left over and sold off to the military, and got converted into refuelers and transports.
Well, there you go. I
You
actually
didn't know that.
I went to school
no, but
with
doesn't that
one
make
of the
the-
wards.
doesn't that make the CC 150 Polaris? That's the same age as the Airbus A330-200. Then they were both introduced in
No.
like the early 90s.
330-200 is way newer. The Airbus 310 is from the late 70s, early 80s.
The ones that we have apparently are
No,
from
the
the 90s, or that's
310,
when we took possession of them was in the 90s.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe that's when we got the
Yeah.
the Polaris one.
yeah.
the
That's when we got
CC-150.
them. We got them
Yeah.
used, and they were already
Right,
beat to crap
okay.
before.
Okay.
And that's when
That's
they started.
impressive then that they lasted another 40 years after someone already flew the crap out of them.
Yeah, because that would have been in 1980.
Can you say you flew the crap out of them when you went to India?
Yeah.
Like, that might be bigoted.
No. That was before we flew them there. This is what
Oh,
happened is
okay.
that's why they're
It wasn't-
broken
we're
now.
not- We're not talking just a smell.
But yeah, the other supposed reason for the delay is that there may have been drugs on board.
Allegedly,
Now
Cat drugs.
we don't know.
the illegal
because-
type.
Yeah, which in India I imagine is most
Well,
of
like
them.
illegal here or illegal in India?
Well,
It sounds like it's illicit drugs from what I see, but the problem is that
Yeah,
no,
but illicit or like illicit?
I think like illicit drugs. I mean, it's probably weed because like it's Trudeau and he's, like a surfer dude. But no one else is reporting on this, but there are a bunch of foreign news sites that are reporting on this. And they're saying that this is why the plane was delayed, and this is why for like the 2 days that he was stuck there, he wasn't allowed to like go off and explore India and make use of his time.
and do more photo ops
Yeah.
without a wife this time. But I'm just saying, like, more photo
Yeah.
ops.
Yeah. He'd still do the photo ops like he
Yeah.
did, like arriving in India with him and his kid in costumes. Because, he's
Yeah, but I mean-
respecting this kid's privacy and everything in this troubling times by taking him around the world and dressing him up in costumes and taking pictures of him.
But yeah, I know he
Maybe-
wasn't
I
allowed to leave
mean-
the airport area, was he?
No, he
That
was not.
Sounds like grooming, but go on.
Yeah. But yes, he was confined to the airport area, which is weird given that he's like a head of state and all of the things and is there for a G20 summit. Yeah, they're
And also, I do believe grooming doesn't count if it's your own kid. Ask Joe Biden.
Yeah,
It
it's a
should,
different
though.
kind of grooming. Yeah,
Wood chipperable offense.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
but yeah, it's just
Agreed.
interesting that this is the thing, and so this is kind of one thing we were talking about here a little bit in the pre-show was like, if there were drugs on board, given that it's a
Diplomatic vehicle.
diplomatic, yeah, like it's the prime minister's plane, so diplomatic immunity and all the things, and I can't imagine they're searching it, but somehow someone reported that there are drugs. Also, if he's dumb enough to do that, like why wouldn't he just have a guy that goes and buys him drugs there?
Or
Or
maybe
is
they
it
were
much,
loading.
or is it much like when he flew his own Indian chef to India last time? He's flying his own drugs that were probably originally from India back into India to do the drugs.
Or maybe they were just in the bags outside of the airplane waiting to get loaded up. Who knows? And
Yeah. Yes, it is interesting that this is being reported in several places, but not in any Canadian media.
Maybe just the quality of Canadian product is just way better than foreign.
No,
products
we
or
know that's not
something.
true. Otherwise, the government would make
Yeah.
money at it.
Yeah.
they wouldn't have spent
Uh,
money protecting poppy fields in Kandahar either. So
Yeah.
It's different when the Taliban do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, to fix his plane, they sent a technician on a commercial flight and also sent a couple of military planes as a backup in case the technician couldn't fix the plane. Technician ends up fixing the plane conveniently. Military planes, rather than going to India and landing and turning around and coming back, apparently divert to London for some reason.
That makes
what I
sense.
was
London
reading.
is known as a hub of
Well, yeah,
military aircraft, not a giant passenger airport.
yeah. And then, that's kind of the end of his trip there. But more exciting things happened apparently after coming back. There was supposed to be a trade mission to India that has now been postponed amid strained relations. Although the minister that was setting this all up said that like this mission to India is like a massively key part of our Indo-Pacific strategy with India and all of these things. So I guess it's another broken liberal promise is to have this thing that's now not going to happen. And then even more exciting today, like as I was out eating dinner, this dropped. Trudeau now has accused the Indian government of having links to a murder of a Sikh leader in BC.
So I'm not an asshole. You're an asshole.
Yeah. So apparently, in this meeting he had and with the one-on-ones he had, he brought this up to Prime Minister Modi's attention and everything. And
He says he did.
yeah,
We don't know if he did. or
yeah, no,
not,
we don't
but-
know if he actually did. That would have actually have taken some balls to do that. And as we know, he doesn't have any of those.
I believe those belong to his ex-wife now.
Yeah, legally.
Yes.
She
Yep.
got custody. I mean, she was the one that had them for the most part
Just
anyway.
like-
So possession is 9/10 of the law.
Not what that means, but I'll allow it in this case.
Well, he certainly didn't have them. But yeah, so this looks like back and forth, just like pointing fingers at one another and yelling and screaming. And then it's just a pretty bold accusation here to like come right out into the media and have like a press conference about it and say the Indian government is linked to a murder of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. Like that is.
I mean, like it's bold. I mean, I'm gonna put a lot.
I'm just saying, like, if real countries were involved here, there would be like missiles flying potentially. That's
And
a pretty bold statement.
100% that's bold. Like maybe, I mean, I'm gonna give like, I don't know why, but let's just say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he has a bunch of info that does pertain to this, and he's, saying it and then waiting for, the name calling from everybody, and then he's gonna drop it. Which I mean, I know we're giving a lot of credit for something that he would say, and actually be able to back up and do anything about it. So, but
Well,
I
but
mean,
this is where, like, if he did have proof, where's the proof? give us something. Like maybe not all
Yeah.
of the ins and outs, but like give us something.
Yeah. Or is he jumping the gun where, who is it? Well, pretty much the Canadian CSIS, I guess you could say, is looking into it, and they're kind of premature, still in their investigation. It's like, well, we kind of found something that kind of leads to that. He just took it and run, and now he's saying it all over the news. And then like 3 weeks from now, after they talk to a few people, they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, like we were wrong."
Yeah,
But
I'm just catching up here on the chat here that's going on. Darren is asking if Hunter was hitching a ride back, and I don't think so, Darren. They were in India, not the Ukraine. That's
Yeah. True.
but
Um,
yeah, like, you can't just come out and make wild accusations like that without having some proof, especially when it's like them's are fighting words potentially.
Yeah, but it's with India.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
like, okay, so what? So I
Well, I
mean,
guess we could always mobilize our Sikh army against them. 'Cause,
Yeah.
they already have a beef with them.
Yeah, we'll send all our truckers over there.
Could we?
Make the roads safer in Canada. But okay, so what? Like the previous article talking about like the cancellation of the trade deals or whatever with it.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck were we gonna trade with India that like we put a giant halt on?
I bet it's produce, it's commodities, it's farmed goods. It's
Yeah.
going to be
saffron.
it's going to be
Curry?
rice or no, it'd be rice or corn or some other nonsense
Yeah.
like that.
Curry?
No, we take rice from them. They
Yeah.
take wheat from us, and
Yeah.
it's
Oh, okay. It's wheat, not corn. I was
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Although sometimes we've just given them money, and they haven't given us
Well, I mean,
anything back.
we've done that to
Yeah.
basically
Yeah,
every
we've-
country.
But that's that's
Sometimes we guard the poppy fields first.
Yeah.
Well,
and
yeah.
sometimes we borrow money off countries to give aid to that very same country.
That sounds like
sometimes.
money laundering.
Yeah, that's
With
what we
extra
do.
steps. It's
Yeah.
money laundering with
Yeah.
extra steps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I mean,
weird.
I'd like
Yeah.
to see the CRA investigate those books.
Yeah, well,
Why would they put themselves out of a job?
yeah,
For the same reason the CBC isn't reporting on this.
yeah.
Cut off their funding real fast if the Liberals don't stay in power.
But
I
then,
mean-
if there's no CRA, we're not paying taxes.
I don't
That's
know
where
if
you're
that's
wrong,
entirely
comrade.
true.
Yeah,
But who the fuck's gonna come fucking double check your books if we got no CRA?
Honestly, I could still collect taxes and get rid of the CRA at the same time. Just have
Yeah.
consumption tax 15%, no deductions or something, and there's no deductions whatsoever. Everybody pays.
that or they
Yeah.
just send the sheriff around and he sticks his hand out, and you put your gold coins in his hand, and he decides if it's enough or not.
Yeah, he strings you up or he lets you go.
Yeah.
Brass is close enough to gold. Sure, he won't mind. He won't see it coming.
Yeah, but see, you keep the brass part; it's the lead part that goes forward.
We're cutting hairs here. Don't worry about it. Let's get some gold plated ammo then. Oh, we good.
Well, some
You
more.
shouldn't use ammo to plate.
Should use
Soft.
gold
Yeah.
to plate ammo.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that too. Be
Yeah,
very
unless-
expensive for what
yeah.
you're
If
doing.
anything, you use silver because of werewolves and vampires, but that's it.
Yeah.
And those need to come out of a revolver.
But
Do
I
they?
saw it in a movie.
Well, I guess they don't have to, but like it's classier that way, right? Because you get like a nice barbecue
Yeah.
gun with like the ivory handles and the engraving and everything.
Yeah.
Right, because you're using steaks, so a barbecue gun makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Gun.
yeah.
Why can't we
More
have
more shit talking of the Trudeau.
Okay.
Which one?
Trudeau calls on major grocers to stabilize food prices.
Huh.
And if they
Huh.
don't,
What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
No, seriously though, what
Like-
happens if
like-
they don't?
Yeah,
he already
like,
said he's promised that he would actually add more tax if they
Yeah.
didn't. Go
Yeah,
that
he's
route.
just like
He literally said, if
Wait,
you guys
what?
don't,
Okay.
So the solution
I missed
to
these.
reducing the
I
price
didn't
of food
see
is
two.
to tax
I
the
didn't see these
consumer
two.
that buys the food.
no, it gets better. It gets better. So he says, I'm giving you guys till the end of the month, end of September, to
Not even
fix
to
the
the
high
end of to the
Was it-
end of Thanksgiving.
end of the okay, whatever. Anyway, so
Yeah.
he
Canadian
said
or American?
Canadian. So, anyways,
Oh.
he said, I'm giving you till X amount of time to fix these grocery prices, or else I'm going to use the only hammer they have, which is taxation. He's going to add a tax to try and like get some more money out of the grocery store owners, which of course naturally is going to be passed down to the consumer, leading to
Making it more
higher
expensive.
food prices. But
Also-
that's his solution.
And
Yeah, I know, Andrew. I was the same way.
8.5% year over year.
like don't get me wrong. Some of
Like-
these grocery corporations are being a little greedy at times.
Can we
douchey.
start with it? There's
But-
basically only 2 grocery stores in Canada. Can we
Yeah.
start with dealing with the
Yeah.
oligopoly?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
in
there
a
are really only
serious
2
country,
games, and yeah,
in a
Yeah.
serious capitalist country, in a non-planned economy country,
Yeah.
in a country
Yeah.
where Karl Marx does not reign king, you might
And
not
no one's
have
even heard of him,
only
yeah.
2 families running all of your grocery stores.
Yeah. And if you
Yeah.
don't believe us, go get like the grocery delivery app, and then look at the different grocery stores that you can get things delivered from one app. That means they're
No,
all related.
Well, it's not even
No,
the
no,
app
but-
thing.
No.
There's,
No, but
there's,
that
like,
just shows it like in a picture way that's easy to understand for the average Canadian. Maybe not our
Fair.
listeners, but the average Canadian.
Yeah.
fair, but the
Yeah.
the lack of choices for grocery stores in Canada is,
Yeah.
I mean, we also have this whole
Or at
problem of like,
least suppliers.
Well, but like they
But I
all
wouldn't
look like
even
they've
say-
got
I
different
would say
names.
suppliers for the grocery stores.
Like
It's
they all
not
look like
really
they've got
the-
different names, but they're the same owners.
Yeah.
like-
like Loblaws owns most of it. What's the other one? It's
Metro. Isn't it?
who owns
know.
Metro Brands? It's their owner. It's their parent company.
I don't know. I can't even remember which one is which, but like, I mean, it's like Johnson
The
and
Loblaws is
Johnson and
Weston's,
Procter
right?
and Gamble. Like, it's like between those 2 companies, they own all of the things. And it's the
Yeah.
same in the grocery side of things, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to go to Metro, or I'm going to go to the Great Canadian Superstore, or Loblaws, or like this, that, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you
Those
think
are all
that you're
divisions
getting,
of Loblaws. Loblaws owns like a dozen subsidiaries.
And Zayres and so on. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all the same.
And I
unless
think-
Like
you,
Costco's better.
at least
Maybe
you're dealing
Metro's
with
the
like
other
an
one?
actual independent grocery store, which they're
But-
few and far between.
But they're not. Even the places that are listed. So independent grocery stores is actually a trademark of Loblaws. So if it's
No,
an
but I mean like an
independent-
actual like.
But there are. I
Yeah.
mean, name an independent grocery store. Like
But
show,
that- yeah.
show me an independent grocery store. There aren't.
There aren't really, yeah. Like you get a few in Chinatown. There's a few small grocery markets, but even then, I don't think you could buy.
Yeah, but
all of
T-
the things-
Okay, so like the quintessential Canadian Chinese superstore or supermarket is TNT.
No,
And
but I
that's a
mean like the
Loblaws thing.
small, like.
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying,
But,
like the
but even those, yeah,
the Chinese grocery store that everybody thinks of is also still owned by Loblaws.
yeah, anything that's of a
Or,
where
or
you
they
could
get
go
all
in
the
and buy-
produce from them, and they may not be necessarily affiliated with them, but all the produce comes via this chain that, on the back end, they get kickbacks, Loblaws gets a kickback.
Well, yeah, that's the
because
thing. Unless
the
you're
only place
going
that they
to
can
like
get the
a
thing.
super local like variety store that has groceries, you're supporting these guys in one way. And chances are, if you're going to that,
Yes.
you're not buying all of your groceries there because none of those places have like a deli counter and the vegetables and the fruits and
Yeah.
the this and the that and everything else. So one way or another, you're supporting one of these 2 companies at some point.
So, anyways, Andrew, if you'll forgive the liberal talking point for a second, his exact
will
quote
not.
from the article is, if their plan doesn't provide real relief for the middle class and people working hard to join it, then we will take further action, and we're not ruling anything out, including tax measures.
Yeah.
that- So,
It's
like,
like-
how does that help the middle class if you include tax measures? I don't understand.
Well, because you're talking about a person that doesn't understand how economics work and how his actions are actually the things that have caused prices of everything to skyrocket. Because like the only way that these grocery stores can do anything is either to like reduce their profit margin, which they're probably not going to do by any significant thing, or
No.
reduce cost. What's their major cost? labor.
People.
So
yes, like, which
we're
is
going to
why-
put people out of a job. Like that's what
I
you're
mean-
asking them to do, Trudeau.
Have you walked into a grocery store recently where like
There
there's
a way that we could
nothing
put Galen
available?
Weston out of a job?
I mean,
Who?
I'd like to give Trudeau until the end of Thanksgiving to resign, or else I'll tax him.
I'd still really like to remove Galen Weston from the head of the Weston Corporation.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm on board with that.
Just that.
We can make
I
it a
don't
two
know
for
majority.
one
what you're
deal.
talking about, but I have a feeling I would probably agree.
Make
So,
it a two for one
deal.
so
Yeah, my vote.
this will make your blood boil. This is great. So
okay.
so Galen Weston is
Yeah.
the current patriarch of the Weston family. The Weston
Okay.
family is the majority shareholder of George Weston Limited, which is the holding company that has the majority share of the Loblaw Corporation. They own 47%, in case you were interested. And Loblaw's Loblaw Company Limited owns basically every grocery store you can think of in Canada except for Metro.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did you guys get your gift cards from Loblaws?
Oh, don't worry. They're also the bread people. They own that too.
I was talking about. Hey, we fucked up. We overcharged you for years. Send us
No,
an email.
we were
and we'll
price
send you a 20
fixing. It wasn't we overcharged you. We were on purpose artificially manipulating the market. Not
Is it-
unlike what Trudeau is doing, although it's a different type of manipulation.
So is it
Yeah.
price fixing though when you own all of the companies? They just have different names.
So you remember earlier what I said about oligopolies?
Yeah.
Yeah, it like that.
Yeah.
Because like that's a really interesting way around price fixing, if you know.
Yeah. You're not fixing if you own them, if you set the price
Yeah.
for all of it. But I
Because
mean,
we're not colluding. It's not like me and all of my competitors get together in some dark room
'cause
and like
I'm all
sit
the
there and talk
competitors.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm all the competitors.
Yeah.
So like the swipe of a pen and we're good. And
Yeah.
The
Like,
the solution to rising food prices, I think, might have something to do with possibly the inflation. Could possibly be related to the inflation.
and I mean,
Yeah.
like I've got an
Well,
issue
the
with
simple solution is just print more money and you'll solve inflation.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
No, I'm pretty sure
No.
it is.
No,
We
I'm pretty sure every other time they've tried it, it worked. So
Yeah.
it's much like socialism. Just keep
Yeah.
trying the same thing. See what happens.
And then you know what else we do? We give everybody a wage increase.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to
At
fight for
what
that.
point do we get to go to the zoo and pick out what animal we're eating?
real soon.
I don't know.
But-
I guess we'll
so-
see after Thanksgiving on what.
Because I
grocery
mean, I
stores
really,
have a plan or
I got
not,
a
yeah.
hankering for a rhinoceros. I want to see what that tastes like. I bet it's
Yeah.
like beef.
I'm down. I'm down. But
Yeah.
it's also kind of funny in this article. I didn't see the second page where all the articles were. But someone's saying that they're disappointed that we didn't get more details on what the government is asking. It just feels a little bit half baked. Then we just had an article about him being potentially
Baked.
stuck there because of drugs.
Yeah.
Just funny coincidence.
It's okay though. He didn't inhale.
Well, he doesn't have the weird mouth thing where that's plausible.
Yeah. No, but same political party. But I mean, you know,
Yeah.
his plan, like from day one, has been to, just like he said in this thing, to like help the middle class and those working hard to get there or approach it or something. But everything he has done has made
Yeah.
it harder and harder and harder and harder for those people.
100%.
There is no middle class in this country. There's
No,
there's
because
Galen
he's
Weston
co-
and there's everybody
'cause
else.
he's
I shouldn't say
completely
that. There's Galen
obliterated.
Weston and Trudeau and everybody else.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
either own a multinational,
Yeah.
multi-generational business, or you own nothing.
Yeah, you either own the zoo or you're deciding which animal to eat. That's
Yep.
It's I mean that we are
And-
basically at what point do we become Venezuela where we're actually going to the zoo and picking out which animal we're having for dinner? Because like
yeah, but we don't even have decent rum production here. So
And yeah, we don't need to have any
Yeah.
decent zoos for that matter. I mean, maybe the Toronto Zoo,
Yeah,
I
no.
suppose. But I was told I would own
Yeah.
nothing and be happy though. So
and
Are
you
you
will eat
happy?
those bugs.
no, it turns out no.
Have you
but
eaten,
you're very
eaten
close
the
to
bugs
owning
yet?
nothing, so
Yeah.
50%.
Yeah, you still own a few things, so
Yeah,
maybe
you,
we
That's
you
can
right.
gotta
work on-
divest yourself of
give-
everything.
Yeah, if you just gave up those two things, maybe that statement would
Yeah.
come true. But I mean, so talking about it, which I know I'll get some flack for it from some people depending on the industry, but like I the local grocery store now, I go there and I refuse to use self checkout, self ordering, anything because my groceries went up and now you have one cash open instead of 6 caches open. So I'm like, you keeping the money on those 5 people that you're not paying, no benefits, no this, no that, everything. So like I will literally walk into the grocery store with like one thing in my hand. They're like, you can use the self checkout. Like I don't fucking work here. You don't get to do that. I will stand in line and I will wait. And I mean that's
mean-
just how it is. And so like record profits, like you fired 90% of your staff, or now everybody that was full time is now part time. They come in once a week or whatever, but now they're getting overworked because out where I am, quite a few people stand by that statement where there's a person that gets paid by the hour to stand by the 6, 7,
I don't know.
8 person checkout, and nobody's using it. And then there's a lineup, and that person does not get a break. It makes it even
I'm-
harder on that.
I'm split on this one because I see both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, I don't work here. If I use the self checkout, I should get the employee discount.
100%.
Also, hire competent people to work the fucking checkout counter that aren't going to screw things up and aren't going to just like be slow as fuck.
Yeah.
And also, like, and this drives me crazy. Like, and they do it on the machines too, which is even crazier because like the
Yeah.
cost of running all of the machines at the checkout is minimal. So like if you have the machines, make sure they're all open because there's nothing worse than when you've got a line up at the self checkout because half the machines aren't turned on. But also then like have appropriate staff. But
Well,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
and
we crossed that graphing line where basically the
It-
utility or like the productivity of the employee, because they can only create so much income for the employer, kind of crossed with the cost of the machine that can provide just as much,
Yeah,
if not more,
and-
productivity.
and
And so the
part of
fight
the
for
reason
Fight
I
for
think
15 killed it, right?
well, that's it's gotten to the point where like wages have gotten to the point where like it's just not profitable to hire people to do the thing
Yeah.
when a machine can do it, but also the quality of the people
yeah,
isn't there. So even if
no.
I mean, you could say that about pretty much any industry, though.
But,
The quality
yeah,
of people is
yeah.
absent.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's the thing. So it's
100%.
like they may just be like, fuck it, like I know we need 6 more cashiers, but none of these people like we're going to
Fit the
cause
criteria,
more
yeah.
problems by hiring these people and having
Ah.
them work,
So they've tried to get them to make change during the interview process. I see.
right? Like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I support Thor in the chat saying, support your local homestead, and I am all up for it. I will try and do that the best as
Yes.
I can. But everybody is always saying, like, I want to support local. I want to find Canadian stuff. I want to find something, built in Ontario because I don't want to support another province or whatever. And everybody says that until there's a slight cost associated with it.
Yep, absolutely. I am all for buying
it-
Canadian until I see the price of buying Canadian. Then yeah, give me that cheap Chinese crap, baby.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like, hey, support, yeah, the meat quality is better at, someone, that sends his
Oh.
stuff to the butcher down the road and gets a package. You can buy it from him, but I can get it cheaper at Walmart.
Yeah.
It's not the
I
same.
have
Like,
yet to put Darren's sweet, tasty meat in my mouth, but that will be happening very, very soon when we're up at the trailer next. So I will be bringing dinner for the next night at the trailer. Don't you worry.
nice.
Little
but
trailer
yeah.
trash. Darren's meat in everyone's mouth. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Darren's meat's getting around that night, baby.
So
I'm
is
excited.
he the self checkout for the night? Everybody
Well,
gets to use him.
I guess we'd be the self checkout because it's I don't know how
Well,
that
he's
works.
the machine. You're using the self checkout.
Well, they're sliding the meat along them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's all how you look at it.
Yeah.
Becomes
either way-
strange.
Depends who you want to be the receiver
Yeah.
and who you want to be the giver.
Yeah, either way,
Yeah.
it is going to be delicious.
Nice. But yeah, that's all.
Well, I'm
I-
excited to see what we're cooking at the trailer.
Ham. It's ham and bacon.
It's ham. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
God, the pig
Ham.
is such a magical animal.
Oh, I know. All the
Ham
different
wrapped
like
in bacon?
Oh, yes. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. Like, I love beef, and chicken
Well, if
wings
you-
are awesome.
If
But-
you wrap a
yeah.
piece of beef in bacon, that's
Medallion.
Filet
Filet
mignon.
mignon.
right. So what happens if you wrap a pork in bacon? That'd be a
Oh, but you have to get
filet.
like the little.
No, that
It'd
is
be a
actually-
filet.
That
or
is actually
mignon
called
mignon.
a rouladen.
No. But that's when you put like vegetables
that's a
around it
movie.
too, isn't it?
That's a movie. He finds the lamp.
I
he
think you're
becomes
thinking
the
of a
prince.
pork hawks, where they take the
No,
pork.
not the Schweinhawks. No, it's literally rouladen. I believe is the term.
Because all the German restaurants here that do rouladen, it's like some sort of veg. Like there's meat in the middle, and then like
I'm excited to take different
Cabbage.
kinds of pork and wrap them around other kinds of pork and then
Yeah.
put them in my mouth.
yeah,
So
It's
rouladen is
Basically, I want to
There.
put Darren's pork in my mouth.
yes.
Yeah. But also, wrapping bacon around beef does not make it a filet mignon. Like,
Well, no, that's the type of thing, but they normally put the bacon around the outside to help keep it nice and moist and juicy.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Is that not a filet mignon when you wrap bacon around a
Well, it
piece of
does. It
beef?
doesn't make it one because you can do that with other cuts of meat, but
Yeah.
traditionally filet mignon has the bacon around it because it's such a
Yeah.
tender
it's
cut of
also a
meat that it,
Yeah, it's a certain type of meat. So I'm like,
Yeah.
if you wrap that around ground beef, it doesn't make it filet
Yeah.
mignon because it's right. So I'm like,
yeah,
yeah.
No, I
Some-
think that would make it halfway to a bacon cheeseburger.
yeah. Because sometimes you go
pretty
to
much.
like Costco and they have like round eyes with bacon on them,
But
and it
if
looks
you wanna
like a
wrap
filet
it-
mignon, but it's not. But it's
I
still
made
delicious.
a eye of round roast the other night for dinner. It was so good.
Oh yeah. I like getting like a nice like loin and just cutting that into the steaks.
I mean, who doesn't like a nice loin now and then?
Yeah,
That might be a
Especially at
show
Costco.
title. I'm writing that down before I forget.
yeah.
But
Or just
Yeah.
Darren's meat in our mouths. It's another more vulgar title, but it works.
Oh. you got to do
So
the bacon wrapped
Darren's
asparagus,
meat.
too.
Yeah.
You got enough bacon
Um,
to get some asparagus and wrap that bacon like we did at the wedding?
Well, there's not a lot of bacon, but there will be enough to make some bacon for the
Okay.
evening. Yeah, we'll be good.
I'd have a
Um,
little evening bacon.
Yeah. I guess we can do the last one here, because we've shat on Trudeau enough, but fuck that guy.
Have we? though?
Well, no, that's the 404 episodes and we're still going, but
Oh, this one.
Toronto Star owner cutting 600 jobs at regional papers, seeking bankruptcy protection.
Oh no, regional papers that all publish things off of wire services are losing jobs. Imagine my shock.
Socialism in the former newspapers didn't work.
And I mean,
Yeah.
like we've posted pictures, or not pictures, sorry, let me rephrase that. Articles from the Star previous to a show, and like I'm like, I can't see them because I gotta pay to get on their website compared to most other ones. I mean, I know they're not the CBC, so they might not get the same hefty paycheck. But like, yeah, it's like I don't know anybody that sits down and reads the newspaper anymore. I used to deliver the newspaper, like the Sun, the Citizen. I used to deliver them house to house, 3 o'clock in the morning, because that was a thing. But it's not anymore.
Yeah, but like printing the paper costs money. Paying the people to deliver it costs money.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
Especially
and
when like most people don't even read the paper in its entirety anymore. And I don't think many
No.
people actually did.
no.
I think my father was like the last one to do that. And even he didn't read it in its entirety because he just like threw the sports section completely out.
And
Yeah,
it's a
but
filthy
he just
commie
grabbed the
rag.
certain-
Fuck is wrong with the CBC?
Where would you like me to start, sir?
Yeah.
Well, so I
'Cause I
was
mean,
looking
I-
at this and I was like, North Star doesn't own the Toronto Sun. Torstar owns the Toronto Sun. Did they make a typo? Nordstar is the private equity firm that wholly owns Torstar, the holding company that owns the Toronto Star.
So a company, me,
There are like
So they're in
four
charge.
levels of like financial fuckery going on here. Yes.
maybe that's why they're going
Yeah.
fucking bankrupt.
I mean, probably there's some money being shuttled between some of these companies. I'm surprised none of them are numbered companies.
Well, that was why I was like,
Yeah.
so, like the North Star doesn't own the Toronto Star. That doesn't sound. And so, like, yeah, like 30 seconds of cursory
Yeah.
interning, and it's like, oh, this is the private equity firm that fully owns this newspaper brand.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Like, am I the only one that fears that like AI is gonna take over to like do the news?
Fucking,
for us?
I hope so. I hope so, and I hope it launches all of
Like
it.
you could have like, let's say 20 good peoples of some sort that understand the computer way better than I do. To be able to
I
run
don't believe there are
programs.
20 good people in this whole country, but go on.
No, good people that can run computers better than I can.
Less than 20, but go on.
Have you seen me operate a computer?
No, I think what he's
You've
saying
been
is
in the
that
chat.
20 people that can run a computer good, not that they're good people and
Yes.
can run a computer well,
Ah,
but just
Yeah.
20 people
Yeah.
that can run a computer
I'm
Yes.
gooder than him.
with you
Yes.
so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thought we were talking about morality for a second.
No.
No,
That's
no,
we've thrown
no.
that out the window long ago. This-
That's long gone.
Yeah.
But like AI is going to take over about someone being able to write articles, do this, do that. And you're just gonna have some like dude in his mom's basement eating pizza pockets, Cheetos.
I'm
that can run a
fairly certain though
computer.
that that's what we already have, especially with a lot of these small regional papers, in that like no one's actually writing anything other than maybe approximately 20 people that are not morally good, nor are they good at writing, but they write articles that are published to like a wire service that every
Yeah.
local
Ah.
paper is regurgitating.
Yes, but no.
Mm,
Yes, but no.
okay.
So when I lived in Stratford, we actually had like an actual local paper that put out like a weekly paper,
Yeah.
and was not, as far as I'm aware, not part of the Tor Star brand, and had
Yeah.
like actual legitimate writers, and they did reviews of the theater, and they talked about things that were going on with Little League and some sporting events in town, and like small
So
town
like a
newspaper stuff,
legit
right? Small, but like
small town paper. Yeah.
small town
Yeah.
newspaper stuff. And I don't think it was enough people there to be like, there were not a lot of writers there that were making a career of
But-
this, but there was a couple of writers that were
It-
decent and could get by.
In
But
the
this is
before
different than,
time, though,
like-
that's how writers would start and
In the
work their
before
way
time.
up.
Right. And that's why, so the difference is
Yeah.
when you get to like, oh, you've been bought by the Torstar brand now, we don't hire those
Yeah.
whatever 6 local writers that we had before
No.
that was their job to do this once a week paper thing. Norwich is like this. Stratford
Yeah.
was like this. I don't know if St. Mary's still has a paper. I wish Liz was here to talk about it.
I
So
don't-
like this very like localized regional thing in Southern Ontario.
Yeah.
But I've lived in a bunch of small towns in Southern Ontario where this has been a thing, and they've had some sort of a very small local newspaper once a week kind of an affair where it was like, this is what happened at
20
the tractor
pages?
pull, and this is what, maybe
Yeah.
20 pages.
Yeah, like very small.
Very small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
And
needs
that's
to
not
be
the same
big enough
as-
to support
6 people.
having. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And
like
that's
we,
but
and
that's not the
printing.
same as
Yeah.
as what these brands at Torstar own, where it's
no,
like, oh, this is like the Burlington and the Hamilton and,
that's-
the
yeah,
London and the
because we have the
Peterborough and-
Mississauga News, but it's trash. Like way back when, it used to have, like you're saying, like articles about local events and sporting event and all the dumb local stuff that like
I
nobody
remember-
really cares about. But like, yeah, let's write an article about like the Pee Wee Little League game that happened last Saturday, right? Like, because it's cool for the community back when we had communities that were local.
Yeah, and I used
But,
to
yeah, it gets
deliver the
bought
Star.
out.
Like the Star used to come out on the Wednesdays, and like that was added on the paper route that we did. We did 3 times a week. Wednesday, you got this. Like I used to deliver the Star around my neighborhood, like the street I lived on and the street across the street. Like I used to do all this, and it's just like, yeah, like there's nothing
But-
now.
but
Like
this
I don't,
is-
I don't
well, but
even see
this is the-
boxes in town anymore. Like you used to be
Because
able to get the Citizen.
nobody buys a
the Sun-
physical paper
No.
really anymore, because why would you? And it's not in the paper's best interest to do that either, because like I said, like because they've sort of set the precedent of what a physical newspaper costs at like 50 cents or whatever it is, with the cost of everything going up because of Dear Leader, like printing that costs more, but nobody's going to go, oh, I'm going to buy this newspaper for $5.
Yeah, instead of just going on Google and putting like,
But I'll pay
Local
$5 a month to be able to read whatever news article I want online at any point in time throughout their entire history. Like that seems like a much more reasonable price, because if I was paying 50
Which it
cents a
is.
day to buy papers, $5 a month is way less. And it's convenient. I get it delivered to my phone. I can do whatever with it. I can't post them on Facebook anymore or any other social media, at least not in Canada, but I could still email articles to friends, text them to friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, the local papers for the most part are dead, unless you happen to be lucky and live in a town that is small enough to not be bought up, but also big enough to support a paper of a handful of people that actually want to talk about
Yeah.
local stuff.
yeah,
30 or
like,
40,000 people.
Yeah, we've got one around here, and I mean, fuck, it's what,
Yeah.
$1.95 for paper. It's like 6 pages. Where I'm like,
Yeah,
I
but that's
really
you start
wanna
getting into
support
that. Yeah.
Like I really
starts to
want
add
to
up.
support it, but I also don't care about anything local unless it literally affects me, and I wouldn't read that in the paper. It'd show up at my front door.
Yeah.
But
But
it's
for
one of those
anyone that
things
wants
where-
my theater reviews, you can, just, send the show.
Did you enjoy your experience with the Thespians?
I did. It was actually quite good. Paul Gross as King Lear was excellent.
Thespian,
Gross
so
in
you're
anything
just
is
talking
excellent.
code,
It's
like
true. No, I-
a thespian is someone who performs Shakespeare.
Or I mean, I guess any theatrical production, but
I don't
really-
think that's accurate.
I thought you were just adding a Mike Tyson lisp in to
No.
be inconspicuous.
no. There are definitely
Weird.
lesbians that are thespians, but not all thespians are lesbians, nor are all lesbians thespians. But they do. There is an intersection there at some point. But Yeah.
Where the road scissors? Or
yes, exactly. Where the
Crosses,
road
if
goes.
you will.
Yeah. But yeah,
One
no, he
quick-
was excellent.
Well, I mean, Paul Gross is always good.
Yeah.
One quick thing, because I was on the CBC while we were talking about
Yeah.
the Torso stuff, and I clicked the 5 largest grocery store chains in Canada.
5?
The
Okay.
5 largest grocery store chains in Canada.
Yeah. Not owners, chains.
Chains. Okay.
Right. Guesses without interning?
Save
Uh,
on foods.
Sorry, say again?
Save on foods.
Nope.
Ooh.
So I would go Loblaws is on there.
Loblaws number 1.
Metro?
Metro brands, not Metro
Yeah.
grocery store, Metro
Yeah.
brands.
Metro brands, okay.
Sobeys?
Food Basic?
Sobeys.
Food Basic?
Food Basics is owned by Metro, so no.
Okay. Farm Boy?
Nope.
No,
No,
That's owned by the
pretty
same
regional.
company as Sobeys. That's Empire.
Okay.
Superstore.
Nope.
Real Canadian Superstore?
That's Loblaw.
Safeway.
Nope.
Costco?
Costco
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I love fucking Costco.
and
Walmart.
Walmart.
Yeah. I was
The
just like,
the 5 largest grocery
but
store
that's because they
brands are-
only got into the grocery game
Loblaws.
recently. Yeah.
like that doesn't
I figured for Lysol sales alone that Safeway would have been on there.
Loblaws, Empire, Metro, which is like every grocery store you see, and then
Yeah.
Costco and Walmart.
Yeah.
That's it.
Everything
That's
is
that's
owned.
all the grocery stores we have in this fucking country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in Ontario, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that you
Patterson
heard what we,
Foods out
you
west
heard what we
doesn't
said.
count.
Yeah.
So if you have if you have what fucking Minehart's Fine Foods or Nature's Market in Langley, British Columbia. No, Ian's saying no. Those are the only Pattison brands I know.
But don't they own all
Yeah,
the
so-
signs?
Jimmy Patterson pretty much owns everything out here, but
Yeah. Yeah. Although I can't shit talk him too bad because a friend of mine's wife works for them and we get free tickets to a bunch of stuff. So
It amazes me that there are effectively 5 brands.
Yeah.
Like 5 groups,
Yeah.
conglomerates. And Walmart and
Yeah.
Costco are both like, yeah, no, we just do this one.
yeah.
Yeah, like we're our own. Everything else,
Yeah.
like
Empire's like
every
Empire owns like
other-
a dozen brand. Loblaws, like two dozen brands. Metro,
Yeah.
like half a dozen brands. And then fucking Costco and Walmart.
But that's
yeah,
Yes,
I'm not
and
smart.
Pattison out west, Ian.
Yeah.
Fucking Western.
but he's
Canada.
not really a grocery brand. He's like a sign guy that also owns other stuff.
Like, which one's Whole Foods?
Whole
Some
Foods
American.
is owned by Amazon.
It's owned by Amazon.
Yeah, they bought them in what was that, like 2012?
So when you're there buying your vegan friendly,
chai latte,
yeah,
Oat-
you're
oat-
you're
oat milk.
building Penis Rocket 2.0. Just keep that in mind.
it's
You're welcome for that weird little bit of knowledge.
Yeah.
But I'm just disgusted by like Christia
Yeah.
Freeland meeting with all of the heads of like major grocery store brands, and it's
which means she met with 5 people.
5 people.
You think she met with 30 people, but it was 5 people.
But I would still like to have been at I'd like to have watched a video recording of that meeting so that I can like pause it and walk away or like scream at the computer screen or whatever whenever I
wanted
needed
to be, or be a fly in the wall and keep flying in that person's eye.
Yeah.
Because like you're fast, right? Like you're a fly. Like the odds of you getting caught are slim to none. Like a
But-
fly on the wall
Ugh.
would have been good.
First of all, fuck her.
No thanks.
Like not like literally,
okay.
like metaphorically.
I guarantee what the head of one of those grocery store brands wanted to see like, so how much is this cottage cheese?
I wouldn't do it with you,
Ugh.
with your
She
stuff
just-
and him pushing. Like it's
I-
not happening.
to be fair, she could only meet with 5 people because depending on the size of the room, if she was in there, they could probably only fit 5 more people.
Yeah, and I mean, like Five Guys is a good place to sit at. Neat.
I heard 5 Guys works well with police officers too. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably enough of this show.
Yeah. I do enjoy Five Guys in my mouth though, but hopefully Darren's meat in my mouth will be better than Five Guys.
I guarantee Darren's meat in your mouth will be better than 5 Guys.
Yes, because support your
If
local
it is, I'd like to
homestead.
know his wash routine.
Sure, we can make that happen.
Yeah, you guys could parlez-vous français together.
Yeah.
Ah oui. Oh, je l'ai vu une couple de fois.
Ouais.
C'est parlé une couple de fois.
Jum Appel
I'm
Ian.
sure he could use the practice, although I'm sure he only hears it when he's in trouble and he's getting yelled at.
Tabarnak.
Yeah.
I don't believe he gets in trouble, but anyway. Let's round this thing out. Where can people find you on the internet? Pierre, we'll start with you.
You can find me here on Mondays. Occasionally you can find me on Sundays on the other CPP, the Prepper podcast. Off the wall customizing if you want some stuff, but since we're moving, that's like some of the first stuff that's getting packed, so you're gonna like wait a while. But you
Wow.
can email.
Absolute contempt for the consumer.
Yeah, 100%.
You will
Um,
never be the
hey,
head of a
at-
major grocery store brand.
Yeah.
At least we told
Oh
you
wait,
ahead
maybe
of
he
time.
will.
We told you ahead of time. We told you ahead of time instead of just jacking the price up. On
Sounds like he's a
products.
natural fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just we're starting to pack up everything, and the room that would be ideal to pack a bunch of the stuff is where all the company stuff is. So I'm like, all right, we got a few things done locally that needed to be done, and I'm like, we told everybody, I'm like, look, you got like 3 days if you want something. That's it. After that, yeah, we're gonna start packing up, and then we'll be available in middle of November, probably back up and running. But yeah, that's about it.
Ian, where can everybody find you?
Well, now that I'm no longer commuting across the country for sport, I'm back on the Prepper Podcast every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, and obviously here. And if you want to reach me directly, theislandretreat@gmail.com.
All right. Gavin.
The best place to find me when I'm not winning steel plate challenges is, here on Monday nights or on the Instagrams or Vex GTA.
I don't want you to contact me. I'm peopled out. I'll get around to doing a CQC scores when I feel like it. I'm a week late on doing scores and expenses. I don't care. I've been busy. I have things to do. And my contempt for the audience knows no bounds, which is why we've been, 2 weeks without a show?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Fuck 'em.
We may or may not be back next
Yeah.
week. If you don't like it, send an email to feedback at CanadianPatriotPodcast.com.
May get around to it.
I haven't opened my web browser. That's not true. I've opened a web browser plenty. I haven't opened my email client in over 2 weeks. Tomorrow's not looking so good either.
Yeah.
If you send enough emails, we'll have to make a show just to talk about all the emails.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I'd still have to open my email client to read.
Yeah,
the
but like when
emails.
we get around to it, we could have a whole episode of hate mail.
Yeah.
Which would be
Sure,
amazing.
send me your hate mail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
send the
do
hate
it.
mail.
Yeah,
I'd
we're
love that
talking
episode.
to you specifically, Chris. Send us your hate mail.
Send me your hate mail. Actually, you know what? Kudos to Chris. Chris did all the scores for CQC. Chris has been doing scores all season. Chris gives me a lot of grief about a lot of things, but Chris is genuinely a good person.
It's true. I
Yeah.
like his t-shirts.
I had a blast with them shooting PR last time.
He's good.
Oh, you guys
people.
shot? Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we shot. So
I like running into Chris at range control when he doesn't think I'm going to be there, because he's running like sporting rifle or whatever, and I'm doing an RCMI thing, and like I show up to the briefing and he's there. He's like, it's good times.
yeah,
I like it.
I know it's fun. Definitely fun.
We should have Chris come drink at the trailer.
Yes, Chris, you hear that?
Chris, do you want to put Darren's meat in your mouth?
Yeah, there you go, buddy. This is your official invite.
Why you gotta invite him when I'm not down? I shot with him.
All right. You can
You're
also come and
welcome
put.
too.
Yeah, no, fuck no. I
Darren's
just
meat
bought a
in your
house,
mouth?
buddy. I just bought a house. No, just ship it
Well,
over.
you're closer
No.
to Darren than we are. You could probably drive and go-
Prioritize.
Yeah.
Shooting.
Yeah.
Shooting is important. You should
Yeah.
you should practice shooting.
In the time that you could
Actually-
drive to shoot us, you could drive to go get some meat from Darren directly.
I don't know.
I could probably
I-
get paid to go get it
There you go.
because they take
Yeah.
care of that province.
Do it.
Not paid to take his meat, paid to go get his meat.
Yeah.
Two different things. Andrew.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd pay you to take his meat. I don't think
No.
that's how it works.
Just saying it wouldn't cost me gas.
Yeah.
I work in
Well,
yeah.
Belle Province quite often. That depending where
Yeah.
he is, I may be able to
Yeah.
support the maybe not the local homestead, but a homestead.
Well,
Pick up
What's
some
local
meat.
to him?
It's not local to me, but I'm down. Yeah.
Yeah, but his
I'd be
commute's
down.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta get some of that.
All right.
We'll be
I
in
think
touch.
that's good enough. For all of our listeners out there in podcast land, I'd like to remind you that you are a small fringe minority with unacceptable meat.